who are leading the way, showcasing the skill set that's required to navigate the industries. Obviously, fashion, architecture, design is everything. Everything is design. So, Terri Stevens is our guest today here on Design and Dialogue. How are you?
I am funkin' beautiful. How about that?
Funkin' beautiful every day. Funkin' beautiful is the only way. Put it on today.
And
Funkin'
don't take it off.
beautiful.
Oh, you like me. I make a song out of everything. Like I
Every
will make a song. I love it. Thank you for that wonderful intro.
yeah, no. So the love and the DNA that you have from anybody that doesn't know, looking at you, what is designing a personality and style for an individual mean?
Um, Generally, I feel like you have to get to know. You do some research and get into what where you feel they like. And then I love that sometimes you got to push them out their comfort zone. Like a lot of times the hardest part of anything is getting someone to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So if you have someone and they only like wearing, say, denim, then you just say, well, try on this slack. And then you find a slack that's maybe like a denim cut. And then you go from there, like, oh, I know you love wearing, say, flats. What if you try a kitten heel? And then you go, okay, let's go a little higher. How about 2 inches? And then the next thing you know, they're wearing 3 inches. They're like a fashion icon and they're walking the red carpet because you're like, push them a little bit. But the other thing is, too, sometimes you have people that are like, do whatever, do whatever. And then you find out they really don't mean do whatever. They like do some of it. So it's about you getting them to understand that fashion is an extension of their personality and just bring that personality out because people really truly gravitate to that person.
Design and dialogue, we work to showcase individual designers. How would you define your designing style?
Uh, it's tomboy chic. That's the DNA of it. I have always been a tomboy. Like I was the only girl out there playing football with actual football players in high school and stuff. And that's just has always been me. So I love clothes that feel like it's bringing out your personality, but very, very cool and funky. And a play on, say, like different fabrications. So you will always catch a bell bottom. They may not be in season for everybody else, but they are always in season for me. So it's deeply rooted in everything that I loved growing up, from like Diana Ross to Michael Jackson to 70s funk with some 80s. And I'm rooted too in street culture. I'm from Chicago, so graffiti, house music, always in my heart. I'm a house head. I see you feeling that. I'm a house head. Frankie Knuckles, Ron Hardy, Gene Hunt, and disco. Like disco has always been infused in everything that I do. So it's just all wrapped into one little funky 5'5" person that you're talking to.
No, but when we think about design, I think it's important that you share, even now. You've got a huge fashion weeks happening. Where is fashion for you? What is this particular um, envelope that you're opening for all of us to understand? What is that? What are we going to see this season from you?
You're definitely gonna see a continuation of what I've always done. But this year, I feel like I stepped out a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it's definitely dedicated to, say, Duran Duran. It inspired me. Duran Duran's music, Girl on Film video, and then they have a Girl Panic video that is just so phenomenal, and it's with all the supermodels playing characters within Duran Duran. And I wanted to bring back fun. I don't know if like people are inside. I feel like when they get out, they're gonna go crazy with expression. And so this is going to say like, bring it on, do what you feel, be comfortable with it, but don't let fashion overrule you. Be a part of it in the decisions you're making, but don't think so hard on it either. Like invest in some key pieces and mix it up with however you want to feel that day. So bring that confidence out. So you're gonna see like sequins and furs, and it's all intertwined with chunky knits. I actually put bright colors in. Normally I'm very black, but you're gonna see like pinks and reds and purples, beautiful jewel tones for the fall.
So when you think of Project Runway, people think of you and obviously the experience. What do you suggest when people think about Project Runway, the experience? What did you get from that? And then what is the expectation once you've been through that system?
Well, for me, I never watched the show. I had friends that were telling me all about it. And my one friend, when I was at Victoria's Secret, Christiane Penderis, every time she saw me, you need to be on that show. You need to be on Project Runway. And I'm like, okay, but what? So, because I always wore my clothes that I designed. And so she made me sit down and watch it with her on YouTube and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I will audition. And when I did, I didn't know that it was like you're making stuff from garbage bags or whatever, but I'm like, I'm down for it. I'm fast. And so I believe that when you get on something like that, be up for the challenge. Sometimes I think a lot of people will crack under the pressure, but because I have insomnia and I dream and sleep and eat well, I hate sewing, but I do it because I have to, but I dream, sleep and eat fashion and music. It was easy for me. And then I really truly have a fast aesthetic. So challenges like that, where, I mean, and it is really true. You are turning stuff out. When they give you on that clock, when it says like, you have 8 hours, you have 6 hours, it's true. I want everyone to know that that is not TV, it's real. And I can make like a whole collection within a week. And in fact, when you see this show, I actually did 20 looks within like 7 days. I had 6 months to prepare, 3 months, whatever, and I would just walk past. But I work better under pressure. So if you're someone that can get stuff in and won't crack under the pressure, then a reality TV competition fashion show is right up your alley.
I love it. The name of the brand, how'd you come up with that?
Um, I feel like it was kind of there, but whenever people saw my designs, they would always say, it's just funky. It's just funky. It wasn't, they never said hot. They didn't say sexy. And I don't know I don't think I've ever been sexy a day in my life. I believe I am funky. And it always came out. And then I don't swear, like I've never said a swear word in my life. So it was like a play on words. I was like, well, I'm funky. And I'm not saying I'm beautiful, but I feel like my clothes are beautiful. So I was like, how about funkin' beautiful? And that's really how it came about. It was that simple. So it was just merging two words together, making them one word. I have to say this, everyone tries to separate the words. It's funkin' beautiful, one word, lowercase, very fun, clean and simple. And if you see behind me, that's another play on words. The shirt says mother funkin' beautiful.
I love it. I love it.
I can send you a t-shirt if you want. I love them.
Always, always. I'll definitely get you my address.
Yeah, it's so good, right? Mother
Yeah,
funky
all
beautiful.
day.
Every time
Yes. Yeah.
it's a bestseller. When my friends wear it, if they're in different countries, people will say it, mother funkin' beautiful, no matter if they're in Paris, Brazil, Italy. So it is a top seller.
I love it. Send me one. Thank you.
I feel like it'll suit your style.
Thank you. Oh, of course. Yeah. I will rock it tomorrow.
Okay.
The idea of education. Why should designers consider going to design school and art school if they plan for this to be their profession?
Well, for me, I must be honest. I am self-taught. Like I guess I have the natural talent of freehand cutting and eyeballing. So I don't, if you were to come into my studio, I don't have a pattern. But with this collection, I did create patterns because I'm like, I need to create a repeatable and scalable model. So I'm like, especially with the launch of the website. So I did create the pattern after I cut and eyeball the original. I said, let me make sure that I can make it sellable, scalable, maintain. But you need that part of it. So like, if you don't have that, say like innate sense to understand cut, print, pattern, layout, draping, you do need to go to school for that because it'll only take something that you have let's say if you say it's a God-given talent, it's only going to help it so that you can better execute your vision. The school provided so much for me. I never wanted to go to school. I was dared. It was like a challenge by a mentor of mine because I'm like, I already know. And I had to start from scratch. When you go to school, they don't let you start at advanced. So I would be in a class, and let's say if it was a 16-week program and they gave you stuff to do, I would be done in the second week. And I would work on other things, or I was actually helping teach and train some of the people in the class. So I think the educational part is only going to benefit you better, and it will get people to take you more seriously that, oh, she is educated, she understands the craft. You get to learn the history of fashion, the innovators in the industry. You get to know even Black designers that came before you, Italian designers, and how they started, you know, how they paved the way. So you take the art history class, art of fashion, sketching. Sketching is key, you know, to help create that vision. I think when you go to school, it can help you become a well-rounded individual.
So you say sketching is important. Why is sketching so critical to a designer's craft?
It helps convey that message. It's like that. I think it's the continuity of that thread. So you know how to cut, you know how to sew, you know how to drape, but how can you say like get people to visualize and understand what you're trying to say? So, and you don't have to be deep. Like some people just have a quick, simple line, but it's about understanding the shape and how you want that fabric to flow. If you wanted to say it's a stiffer fabric, it's just about helping make it the package. It's about taking that package and putting a bow on top of it. You know, and I'm a horrible, and I think you need to continue sketching because if you don't, you will lose it. So I'm getting back into sketching because right now, if I look, it's chicken scratch right now. You wouldn't be able to understand it. So all my sketches look like me. I do a big old thing of hair and then a body and bell bottoms.
Okay, I love it. When you think about and I'm just trying to get a
Mm-hmm.
fashion people experiences, classic designers out of Chicago. For those who don't know, obviously Barbara Bates. How did you two come together, and what did you take away from even being near Miss Bates that you enjoyed?
Um, the fact that it's me, like it was just love at first sight. Um, she has something that everyone I think should understand. She is not technically trained. She cannot sew, but fashion is in her. The woman knows fabric like no one else to me. Um, it talks to her. I really believe that fabric talks to her, and what she does with print and pattern is just beautiful. Like she can already see what it's going to be when she's even at a fabric store. And one of the best things I love is when it gets delivered, like the happy dance. And, you know, she's already sketching like, okay, this is going to be this, this, and this. And I want this shoe with it. Like to her, together, she and I can see the whole vision. How the set is going to look, what complements it, and then what's the missing item. It's like, is this tight? Is it tight? How can we push it in further, or is it simple? The fabric really talks to her. We know what the music is going to be like. So I feel like we're just a wonderful blend of knowing what each other wants. Like what she can't do, what she may be missing, I'm the compliment for it. So to me, it's like if we were married, you know, like you're supposed to marry someone that's your compliment. That's us. Because she's always like, am I being relevant? Am I grandma? And I'm like, nope, you're not grandma. You're not grandma. Uh, you know, just make those pants a little cropped, because it's about following trends, but also being your own person too at the same time. And she is truly her own person. We get inspiration from trends, but it doesn't mean you have to do what everyone else is doing. And I believe everyone has their own path. Barbara has had her own path. There's so many people that have come and gone, and she is still there. And she brings people along. She will bring, if you come in off the street, she will find a place for you. Like you may not be working in her shop every day, but she'll find a place for you. Like, do you want to learn how to make a hand? I don't know if you know about like a hand sewn buttonhole. It's so beautiful. It is art. And actually, Now that I'm thinking about it, I may do like a YouTube video to show people how the tailors do it. It is beautiful. A lot of people don't understand that, but it makes the garment of a suit jacket impeccable. I don't know if I answered your question, but it's just like she's just a beautiful person who is breathes fashion, and together we breathe it.
I got it. So when you have the vision and then you want to be able to understand merchandising, what role does merchandising play in a designer's life cycle and career?
And that's the part where school comes in, because even though I did go to Columbia for fashion, I did take business classes too, because I feel like a lot of times we understand the art, we don't quite get the science. That merchandising and that business is going to help you understand the science of it. So you you may have some garments or an idea of what you want, but you may not know how to position it. What does it look like compared to, let's say you got a sea of other designers, your competitors in a store? Well, that's about your brand positioning, brand identity. Like, how do you say, I understand no one knows me, but I believe I need to be next to, let's say if you're in Saks, I feel like I really need to be next to Jean Paul Gaultier because whatever, or like if you're going to be in a new designer, convincing them that you need your own capsule, or how do you do a pop-up shop somewhere and where you want to be. Like, I don't want to be in the buried in the back. You have to sell that confidence and say, I know that if you put me in your store, and if I'm next to, say, the entrance, or maybe it's like I want to be buried in the back so that it gives somebody a journey. So it's about letting people know that you know what your vision is and having key people there. You got to have people there that's not just yes people. They're going to push you and say, you know what, I know you think you need to be in the store, but maybe you need the small route first, test that market, and then you can go bigger. Because the worst thing is that if you're a designer and people want orders and you can't fulfill it. So be okay starting out small and then growing. Set the goal. Say, I want to start out in one store in an online shop or vice versa, and then see how I can scale. But the game changer has been social media. You are like HSN and QVC everywhere now.
So when you say that, what does that mean for a person who's just hearing that? Can you give them the three things they should be doing to make sure they're building their brand in social media?
Just making sure your content is on point. If it doesn't feel right, don't just post to post. It really must be on your brand. A lot of people are just posting stuff. Yeah, you may get hits, but are you turning those into shoppers? You need a cha-ching, right? So that you can stay afloat. So making sure that everything you're posting, you got the right hashtags, understanding the algorithms. There are people paid to do that. And you can actually get people there that will lend their services for free, do pro bono work with you because they believe in giving back to the community. Making sure that your brand truly represents you. Before you used to have to turn on the TV or go someplace, but now with social media and having a mobile phone, you can get the world within like 1 minute. You push one send, right? You post your message, your content, and everyone could find it. So it's just making sure you stand on point. And then you're understanding, okay, I see that I get most of my hits after 12. So you want to make sure at 12 o'clock, you're always having something going on, 12 o'clock. And then you say, oh, now I can even extend it to, is it every 30 minutes? You're updating just to give them something to keep in their mind. It's triggers. It's triggers. It's sad, but it's a trigger. You have to satiate it.
So someone was watching today and I see this beautiful jacket that you have on. Tell me about it, what it means, and what the interpretation is if someone was to say, I would like something similar to this.
So this is a neoprene biker jacket. I love neoprene because it's very flexible. You can put this in your luggage and pull it right out and it's good to go. And I love brooches and buttons. So it's basically collecting life. And I keep adding, I'll take away and add something else onto it. But it's about a way of you expressing yourself. It's just like how people will wear holy jeans and keep cutting them up and cutting them up. It's just a way of expressing yourself. So take the things that are important to you. As you see, I have like my buttons, Michael Jackson, Chanel. So it's just things that represent me. So just having your self-expression. And I wear this, I've worn it with a ball gown, I've worn it with holy jeans, I've worn it with jogging pants. So I love pieces that you can bring your own personality to. Everywhere you go, I believe in shutting it down. I don't care if I'm doing a Target run. When I'm done, you will remember me when I leave. I'm advertising myself, right? When I leave, usually when I go somewhere, someone's gonna be like, I'll be in an aisle or going through to get like some paper towels, and they're like, excuse me, but can I take a picture of where did you get that? And then I'm advertising myself. They're like, I'm like, hit me up at FunkinBeautiful. Always promote.
So, how far have you gone? Have you ever been to Paris?
Yes, I lived in Paris. I lived there for a year and I kept going back. Yeah, I think you knew I lived in Paris. Yeah, I lived in Paris. And when I was there, I just, before I went, I had a fashion show that was sponsored by my school, Columbia. It was called An American in Paris. And I had met Karl Lagerfeld at Marshall Fields, and he was doing a promotion for his new cologne, Jacko. And I had written all these fashion designers in Paris, Gaultier, Claude Montana, like just name them, I have written them to see like, I'm moving to Paris. Are you hiring? Would you take me on? So anyway, he was there and I showed up. I had like 5 of my friends dressed in my clothes. And as I was approaching, he was like, I think, because he saw some of the clothes that were in this book that I sent him. And he was like, are you the one that sent me the book? And I said, yes, I'm Terri. And we just started talking. And he was like, you must move to Paris. You got to move to Paris. I was like, just so you know, I am. I have a fashion show on the November 19th. And on the 23rd, I will be in Paris. But I got there, couldn't get in because it was during the time when Versace had passed. So it was tight security. I mean, you could not get to them. Like if I couldn't get to them. So I was going to all these different designers, but in my time there, I met Zuli Bet, and I was doing some stuff with Zuli Bet, who is a Senegalese designer who lives in Paris. So that was kind of that. And then I lived in London.
How'd you like London?
Huh?
How'd you like London as a designer?
Oh, I love London. It was good to be there because being in Paris and not able to speak the language, like, I don't care who you are. Like I spoke it in school, but it's not like when you immersed in it, I would forget stuff. So I'm very animated and that's how I communicated with people. And then all the French wanted to learn English. So I would help them. I helped their English improve. Then my French went down. So then when I got to the shores of London, I was just like, exhale, I can speak English. I can speak English. But I had been there previously, but it's the culture. It's like, it's so good. It's just so good. It's everything from biker to street to couture to all things in between, punk, and then the music there. It was really more of my aesthetic, like just everything, how I love music and fashion all lumped up into one. And you can be with someone one day and they have like a punk mohawk like 4 feet in the air, and then the next day that could completely be shaved off and they've changed their whole identity. So I love the fact that the fashion was always evolving to me in London.
So, what were the techniques that you learned while you were in Europe, and how?
um I actually the French really have an eye for detail. So to me, I think it's that that eye for detail in hand sewing. I learned a lot of hand sewing. I had friends that worked at a lot of different brands, couture brands, and so I would go home with them, and they would teach me the hand sewing, how they did repairs, and it's so intricate. Like they didn't settle. If it wasn't right, it went back or they would start over. It was perfection. So I learned that. And then that attention, the cut, and the importance of fabrication, never settling, always striving to improve and improve and improve and learning. I feel like they're always learning. And so I tried to do that with myself. Even now in the virtual world, I'm going to all these different classes and summits and learning on things that I've never would have thought that I would do, like knitting, even like the importance of knit and how I put that in my collection this year, actually, is bringing knitwear into it. And if I don't know how to do it, finding the best of the best. I have a girl named Pam Trumper who lives in Ohio. She can knit you. Like, she's so good in her, she seriously, she can create you. She's that wonderful. So it's about like, and bringing those people into the fold, you know. I'm always trying to challenge myself, you know, never settling. There's, it's, you're always supposed to know more and search for more, I feel, to improve yourself in the art. It's an art. Fashion is an art.
You've got a big project happening tomorrow you're a part of. Tell me about that.
Are you coming?
Of course.
Okay. It's Emerge 10th anniversary, which was founded by Dion Williams, PR. And she says she started it for me because we would go to these shows and she would be like, I can do this. She's like, we can do better than this. And so she started the first show in New York because she was going to all these shows and always felt like they could be just a little bit more. And I think she calls it the secret sauce of the Chicago factor. So Chicago will always add all of this extra glam, whereas in New York, it's about the clothes. We don't need chandeliers, we don't need balloons, and that's the Chicago, like, and then the award presentation and all this stuff. So she made it an event. She didn't just make it about clothes. She made it an event where she gives out awards, fashion innovators, people in the industry that has paved the way for people like me. So that's what you're going to see this year. And it's Andre Leon Talley that's going to be there, Law Roach, Claire Somners from Fashion Bomb Daily, and Fern Malice, who is the creator of Fashion Week. So it's going to be really, really good. And there are 3 other designers, and there's just a wonderful team that has helped bring this whole thing to fruition. So I'm looking forward to it. And I open the show, so don't be late. And I hope you all enjoy the presentation.
Well, I just want to thank you for coming on Design and Dialogue. You are definitely a gift. I can't wait to wear my Mother Funkin'
Beautiful. Yeah, say it slowly. You have to think about it because people will sometimes
shirt.
People slip up sometimes. It's an N.
Mother Funkin' Beautiful shirt.
There you go. One more time.
Mother Funkin' Beautiful shirt.
One more time. Say it.
Mother Funkin' Beautiful shirt.
Mother
Funkin' Beautiful shirt. Motherfucking beautiful shirt. Motherfucking beautiful shirt.
Yeah,
Funk
say it 5 times.
Funk with me, baby.
Okay, we may have to record that. We may have to record that. So let me ask you a question. Are you into fashion? Like, what do you like about fashion? And what are you looking forward to seeing tomorrow?
I am really looking forward to the voices. For me, it's all about kind of how does it feel like a movie? How do I leave inspired? What would I put in my collection just as a piece to say I have it and something that I can see? What can I prepare for my life's movie? And what color and taste and flavor can I add to my wardrobe or my ideas or my associations or even my creativity? How I look at characters, how I sketch, where I think palettes and tones are going to be for me in the future, how to use color. So those are some of the things that I'm inspired by, but also just enjoying the creativity and of giving voice once again to, with you and Dion and seeing our community and what the culture brings to life that is often omitted. So being that candle in the dark and just seeing how bright you shine.
Oh, that's beautiful because it's really about that too. Like making sure the young ones see you. Like it's so important for my son to see me create because he's a creator too. So he gets to see the process through me, and I want him to surpass me. Like, I always try to come in and he'll be like, "No, mommy, I got it." He'll swat my hand. I'm like, "That's right, baby. Do it your way." But take in some knowledge.
Gets it. So if you haven't put it in your wardrobe yet, go to funkinbeautiful.com and support my dearest here because Terri, you are the best. Terri Stevens, thanks for coming to Design and Dialogue. We'll see you soon, and I'll watch the runway as
Thank
all these
you.
beautiful pieces come down.
Thank you. And please send me your contact so I can get you a shirt.
Cool.
You want white or black?
Black.
I knew you hear these always black.
Black.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, this is Monty Steve. We've got more Design and Dialogue coming your way, but enjoy and design a life for you. Peace.
All right.